Free Solo 2018. This is a film about a climber who doesn't use ropes, who simply climbs up walls of rock, often completely sheer rock, just using, in this case, his name is Alex Honnold, and he uses his bare hands to climb up rock faces that look almost completely impossible. And I'm so amazed by the feats he's achieved. I mean, the the thrust of the film is about him climbing El Capitan, and that is 3,200 feet of almost completely sheer wall. Um, he makes this attempt. He makes this attempt first in 2016, or at least in this film. They record him trying to make this attempt at climbing in about October or November that year, before it becomes impossible to do because of the weather and conditions. So um, that first attempt, well, it's early on in the film, so I'll say that one doesn't work out that well. He's injured his foot, and the reason he's injured his foot, if I remember correctly, is because his girlfriend Sunny didn't did something wrong with the ropes. And he says in a very nonchalant way that he thought of breaking up with her at that point. I mean, it it's uh, it's just the whole thing, the concept, the whole idea of this film. It's just one element of amazement after another. So it's very much a nail biter. And last night I saw it for the second time because I first saw it in 2018 when it was out in the cinema. And wow, did I bite my nails practically to the first knuckles of my fingers. Oh, um, I was just so nervous watching it. Um, I watched it last night, and I know what happened, so I don't feel as nervous, but I didn't want to give away what happened. Like when my friend and her husband asked, well, her husband especially asked, you know, so, you know, did Alex make it to the top? And I said, I'm not going to tell you that. That's, classified. You have to see the film. And my friend at the end told me she was grateful I hadn't told her. And if you look up Arnold, no, don't look up Alex Honnold, simply because it's, well, for a start, it will spoil the film slightly, but also um, people are mean on the internet. So the things they search for, the second thing I saw out of the searches, I was absolutely shocked. I thought, oh gosh, um, but um, that's people for you. So, um, so yeah, Alex was unheard of until 2007, and then he completed two solo feats, free solo events in the same day, I think, and that's climbing with no ropes up two of Yosemite's famous, impossibly difficult walls as far as I could see. You see those sheer cliffs and you think, "How on earth can anyone do that?" Um, so, that's when he became well known. But in 2016 and 2017, he makes an attempt on El Capitan, and that is such an impressive that's such an impressive, um, wall. It it's just blows my mind really. Just so, uh, it's like, he's living in a van at the start. He's done that for years, and he finds it, works fairly well, although he would like to, you know, have better facilities. Eventually, he does buy a home, by the sort of 2017, I think he's bought a home when that first attempt doesn't work out. But, he meets Sani, his girlfriend, and it's just, his matter-of-fact approach. He's just so, deadpan in his approach to life. He's fearless, or he has very little fear. He doesn't seem to feel the sort of, stimulating feelings that most of us get from something like heights. It would petrify me. I'm petrified by being on a small rock climbing wall. I had friends in Wales, and some of them were pretty fearless. They would climb up. I remember one friend climbed up the side of, um, a squash court, right up to a retriever ball, and just falling off that would have been death, really, easily. Maybe not, but serious injury. Um, so he's got intense focus, and his um, how he is was studied using MRI, magnetic resonance imaging, and it is really revelatory. It shows quite an amazing um, reason to do with the amygdala that explains exactly why he's like this. And wow, yeah, um, I understand a bit better why some people are more thrill seekers than others, and some people need that kick of adrenaline. Some of us quite happy with much milder thrills and spills, I guess. So, all the way through, we get to see in great detail how the climb is. I mean, he analyzes it, he does go up it with ropes, and Sunny comes on climbs with him as well. One time she makes this mistake, but which results in an ankle injury or something, and of course that stymies his chances. Imagine trying to scale anything like 3,200 feet with an injury. So there's that reason for it not being a runner first time round. Um, but um, the the tension, like when we get to see the actual climb, and the first time he climbs, it's done in the dark. He has to get up really early because he has to get to a certain height before the sun starts beating down, because that makes it impossible as well. He has to have energy, sustainable energy for the climb, because he can't rest until the top. I mean, there's hardly any opportunity to rest, and there's these tiny finger holds, and he's using chalk to make sure sweat doesn't make him slip. and there's like crevices and cracks that look impossible for him to hold on with the minuscule toe hold and finger holds. Um, I mean, when it comes to crack, I prefer Irish crack. I prefer Guinness and having a good time in a pub. But this is so impressive. And first time I came across Yosemite, reading about it, and the size of these cliffs was in 1979. I was reading about it. And because I was in Wales, I knew people who climbed the much smaller mountain cliffs there. And they're still pretty impressive. Going up the Llanberis Pass and you see tiny figures going up these little, yeah, that look little, but they're massive, massive cliff faces. It's um, it's just it just seems impossible. And there's also heartbreaking detail about similar climbers who free soloed, but who met their demise that way. Several are covered how they died. Um, One in 2017, just a few weeks before Alex's next attempt. Um, and there's like one part. It's the boulder problem. It's called. He needs to either do a karate kick or a jump sideways, and it's like, what? How on earth can you guarantee that you hold on properly? Get onto this next um, finger hold. Because I mean, in a way, he's holding on his whole weight with two points of contact often, and sometimes just one, because once he let goes with one to move his arm up, that's it. It's just um, it's mind-boggling, just mind-boggling. So um, we get to talk to Sani. I know I felt so sorry for her. I mean, she drives home the day of the big challenge, and I'm not surprised. I mean, for a start, the whole um, him having a relationship um, could influence his performance. The whole way this um, challenge is filmed, and it's impressively filmed by photographers with zoom lenses, some 8 miles away on the ground in the valley floor. It's such a long way from the actual cliff face, and other people on the cliff face with ropes, and then I think drones as well. So there's just all this tension. The music is amazing as well. Just ramps up the feeling. I'm really not surprised that it won an Oscar and BAFTA um, for the best documentary. Um, and He's also a philanthropist. He was um, he did solar projects. He went to parts of Africa and did environmental projects, solar projects, PV, that sort of thing. I was so impressed by that as well. Um, and Alex's mum also got into climbing, Deirdre Wallow Nick. She started climbing at age 60 and she's climbed El Cap twice. I don't think free solo, but she climbed at 66. And then again, she became the oldest person to climb it at 70. Um, Alex's father died when he was just 19, but he seemed to have give that quest for climbing. Um, wow. So it's a really impressive film. Uh, don't look up anything about it. Just watch it from the start, and your eyes will be glued to the screen. If you anything like me, um, it's just wow. All these views from such a height. We can see the tree line or the trees way below, and these impossible steep cliffs and tiny little grooves, and him describing the discomfort of holding on and edging up. Oh, yeah, I'm going to score this 9 out of 10. I'd love to know what you think. Thanks if you like this review. Thanks if you subscribe. Please hit the notification button, and I hope to see you again soon. Bye for now.